So here I am today. Mm, It is more about how many times I have failed in my life and how much struggle I had in the past. But before I start my story, I just read you a book about loss so far. I brushed up today, and about 4 weeks ago, my best friend gave me this book. The title is One Word Sorry to Ever Stumble. Right here in the back of the book, the writer said the question, challenge yourself. If you use one single word to describe your whole life, the meaning of your life, the targets of your life, what would that would be? And he continues, I'm sure many of you here will have their answer yes. Is this true? Yes. Because I have when I read that question about 4 weeks ago, 2 minutes later, and I say, I found mine. It came so easy, it came so instantly. And I started to prepare for my TED Talk today. I look at for whole like 30, 40 years of living on the earth, working as a teacher for 20 nearly years. And I started to look at everything I have gone through. So that's what I'm going to share with you. My keyword here, but I'm not going to tell you until the end. I keep that as a secret, and I want to work through the story in my life. And hopefully, you find out why I came to realize the purpose for my life. And I want to share you that. So story time, okay? I was born into a family of 6 children, 5 boys and 1 girl, in a very remote area in Vietnam province. In the 1970s, life was just a huge struggle for many people, and just raising up 6 children in family was a huge structure for my parents. My father used to work for the U.S. before 1975, as only in the 70s was a little bit insecure at that time. And everybody in my village at that time, people stopped going to school. All the kids would stay at home and help with the family. And so being born in a family that face I experienced was actually I had a very carefree life. So much fun as a child in the field with a buffalo with our friend. But it also the first moment in my life I started to experience this feeling of shameful, the feeling of being discriminated because you are poor. And I started to see tears from my mom every time she could experience the feeling of being looked at but for her children. And deep down, I started to realize what I means to trust and to become successful in the right at that time. But my life at that time so quiet until the end. I find something terrible happened to me. My parents sent me to school. I have long days just playing with my friends, and I enjoy more in the field rather than in the school. But I could not understand in the middle of the village. There, everybody cared more about food and clothes. My father was very committed to education, and I cannot remember how many times he asked everybody in the family to sit down in the evening with it all alike in the middle in 1980, and he kept reminding us about what would happen if we decided to quit school. The first thing we would do is get everybody of the family if we ever told that not going to school. And he was very committed and still very secret to me now. Where the idea came from, it is my everybody else is my family going against education. So being in that situation, in that context, only the first lesson of being grateful to having such a caring and loving mom and a committed father in my life. But then I know that I could not escape from education. Every first sometimes start other kids because they have long days playing. I sacrifice hard of their minds could as could not enjoy, to be honest. Sorry, teachers. And then I become teacher and it's tricky. But my life went on to secondary school and in high school very quiet. The only thing I could do to stay focused. I was very obedient at that time. By listening to my parents and my teachers on the time, I tried to study hard, strongly. The best score I got in high school was 6.72. I could never be a good student in high school, even I know that I have tried a lot. I was so bad in high school, but I did start to feel that I enjoy more school. And this is also the stage. At school, I started to experience what people call failure. At the end of year 12, after the university entrance exam, I failed. First year. Interestingly, I didn't feel sad, not disappointed, but I began to see in the eyes of people who love me and who wants the best for my life. Look up the disappointments and more expectation from me. So I felt sad for 2 days. My luggage and going to Bacon City, spending 1 year reviewing the lessons, taking the exam again the second year, and I passed becoming a student at a university. But I had to work again. Right the first day I stepped into the university, I was wrong. I was among 255 students at university, the standing award of English. So in the first month of the university, many times I have talked about quitting university, going back home, like it's easier is a farmer, right? I felt so lucky at that time to have one of my teachers. He understood all of the psychology process the student about. He sat down patiently explaining, encouraging, and supporting. So we overcame the problem thanks to the teacher. That the second person I felt so grateful in my life. And all I could do in my 4 years was to stay focused. I never considered myself to be a intelligent person, but I did work very hard through 4 years. No playing, no Facebook, computer at the time. Luckily, after 4 years, rewards came. I graduated top one in my class out of 255 students. It was the biggest achievement ever in my life at that time. Uh, I, I was granted for the position in the university, become a lecturer. Wow, you can fly, and I feel so happy. But I could see the happiness more in my parents' eyes and the people who have trusted me rather than for myself. So if you look around a lot of successful people in life, my success at that time was when I was compared to them. But somebody from a poor family, a remote area struggling through life to survive at the university and achieving a success at the beginning in their life is so significant to me at that time. So my journey began here at this university in the past 19.5 years. And I began working here in 2001 as a teacher, as a lecturer. The first 5 years for me was amazing. I really enjoy working and a lot enjoyment here.